Hello, shalom. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville Reviews Drag Race Season 18, Episode 12, Mamas, Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Drag Queens. That's the name of the episode. Anyways, I'm your host, Chanel number 5, aka Nellyville. Let's get right into the tea. Okay, so first of all, here we are at the top of Episode 12. And it is right after Kenya's elimination, and the girls they're missing a presence. You know, Kenya was brought the energy. She was upbeat, and you know, it's been a long time. The girls are forming bonds, or so every time someone leaves now, especially, they are gonna feel that presence lost. But apart from sad news, let's say congratulations to Darlene. They congratulate Darlene on her first win. Okay, girl. Okay, come on, Darlene. Here we are going into the next day. The girls are still having fun with the banana. You know, Darlene was doing banana hamburger. You know, they are still laughing at Darlene's roast, and it's cute. They're carrying on. I love it. Love to see it. We also find out, on top of Darlene being having a degree, in fashion design, we also found out that Darlene is a professional hairstylist. Okay, Darlene out here wearing all the hats. Y'all thought she was just some little country bumpkin or whatever. But baby, she's got the skills. She's got the degree. She's got the education. She's about that life. Okay, Darlene, I see you. Here we are. We're bringing it around to the rules. Okay. Rue came in with his little cowboy gear and stuff. I'm like, Rue, I like it. You look good with the little hat. Rue, y'all know Rue don't be playing. There is a mini challenge this week. Now, the mini challenge actually did include quick drag. Now, last week when they had said quick drag, baby, where was the quick drag? Because it was giving full production. But anyways, this time for the mini challenge, it actually was mini drag. And the girls had a mini drag, quick drag. The girls got in quick drag, and they had these inflatable horses, and they had to bounce on the horses to the finish line. It was very funny. They did slow-mo takes. It was very funny. It was very cute. So, let me see. Darlene makes fun. Hold on. Darlene makes... I don't know. What's going on here? Oh. Darlene asked if anyone had a safety pin when she was getting into quick drag. And then Nene goes, Discord probably has one. And then the way it cut to Discord, the way Discord was looking, because y'all know, safety pin gate, right? That was real fun. It was cute. Juicy wore this big wig, and it was beautiful. I'm like, Juicy, this is not where has this wig been? Juicy's wig looked really, really cute in this mini challenge. I was here for it. When they were doing the mini challenge, they bounced on each other. Man, Juicy fell. I was like, oh my Lord, Juicy flipped all of. I mean, she carried on the competition, so I guess she was okay, but dang, don't fall in front of me. I'm the worst person to fall in front of. Discord ended up winning the mini challenge. This is the second mini challenge that Discord has won. Discord won 2,500 doll hairs. This is the second mini challenge. And Discord's like, so I won 2 mini challenges. So for me, I feel like that means I won 1 main challenge. Look, I'm here for Discord's delusions. I'm here for it. Okay? So because Discord won, she gets to go first to pick during the maxi challenge. Okay, so for the maxi challenge, Rue announces that the queens are going to be making over cowboys. So the cowboys come out, Discord gets first pick, and then also Discord gets to assign all the other cowboys to all of the other queens. So I'm like, oh, advantage. Okay, let's take advantage of it. So Discord paired herself with Colton. Jane got Terry. Mikey got Michael. Darlene got Chris. Nene got Jason. And Juicy got Greg. So all of these cowboys are a part of the Gay Rodeo Association, or whatever the official title is. I didn't even know there was a thing. How cool is that? That there's this whole world, there's this whole thing of just a gay, all-inclusive LGBT rodeo people. And, and it's been around, I think they said since the 60s or 50s or something, or, a decent amount of time. And, it makes sense because, as we know, cowboy culture, rodeo culture is very heteronormative. It's very straight. It is very masculine. It is very, oftentimes has a lot of people that are very set in conservative ways. So, of course, it makes sense that gay and trans and lesbian and queer people love rodeo too, but it seems like a lot safer space to be around your people, but still partaking those things and not be subjected to maybe more conservative views and stuff. So this was a good makeover, all that to say. So now it's time to get to work. As the girls work with their cowboys, we learn about the all-inclusive gay rodeo. We just talked about that, which has been around for over 50 years. And we learned about queer culture in general in the cowboy/the rodeo community. And we just talked about that. Yeah, this is great. I'm going to look more into this cowboy, queer, gay rodeo thing. I'm sold. I'm invested. I need to know more. Mikey's cowboy is a former drag queen. Now, how we let that happen? Did production not know? This is a makeover challenge, okay? A big part of the makeover challenges is getting your person who doesn't normally do drag to fully become and transform into a drag queen. That includes a walk, attitude, personality, performance, not just the look and the makeup. Mikey's cowboy has been a former drag queen. Nobody's concerned about this advantage. Nobody. Production. Everybody, okay, right, work. Love that. So now it's time for the walkthroughs. Each of the queens go up with their cowboy, show Rue kind of, the thought process where they are right now. I like how when Darlene and her cowboy Chris walk up and they have their little tiny little shiny little purses. I thought that was so funny. Then after the walkthroughs, they flipped the script. The cowboys had a little something to teach the queen, so they did a little roping lesson. Okay, they did a little steer wrestling lesson, which was really funny because the way Nene got flipped by her cowboy, baby, it was funny. It was very funny. It was a kiki. It was a good time. Here we are moving on to elimination day. Mikey and Michael have a great conversation about identity and drag. So Mikey's cowboy, aka former drag queen, stopped doing drag because he was having a hard time connecting to his masculinity. And look, they created this queer rodeo space for people to feel safe and feel okay. But at the end of the day, these are cowboys. And with that, and in cowboy and rodeo spaces, inherently, it is very masculine, very heteronormative driven, right? So it makes sense that, there's this inherent pressure to be masculine. You know what I mean? And so with doing the drag and the thing, they stepped away from drag and they talked about that and just struggling with the identity and just being a drag queen in general. Like, you go out here and people love you because of this persona and everything that you put on, but they don't really know the person underneath the drag. It's deep. We're going to have to do a whole podcast on it, behind that. Maybe we get a little drag queen on and have a real kiki about that. But it was a great conversation. Also, Nene and Jason have a deep conversation about a tragic unaliving of a fellow soldier. So Nene's cowboy, Jason, was in the military, and to make long story short, Jason had a friend in the military who was dating a trans woman. And, the military, they have their balls. They have the military balls and everything and the dances and, and you can bring your spouses, your girlfriends or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Well, people are not progressive. They're bigoted. They're especially, the further you go back, the less tolerant people are. So there was a group of soldiers who told Jason's friend, a fellow Army person. There's no drag queens. There's no, that's not allowed. Don't bring that person here. Right? They're very like, don't bring them. Well, Jason's friend, brought his trans girlfriend anyway. And that resulted in those guys who taunted him and was very, just nasty, disgusting. Those group of men beat this person to unalivement with a baseball bat, with the baseball bats. They beat this man to, all because he had a trans girlfriend. And because Jason was still enrolled, it was advised to him to not really react, because so he had to kind of repress those emotions of losing his friend, because if people saw that he was visibly that upset about what happened, then he may out himself and meet the same fate. So imagine losing a really, really good friend because they are the same as you, they're queer, and then you have to pretend like you're not affected out of fear of your life. You're not even in fear of the people that you are fighting against. You're more afraid of just surviving your own fellow Americans. Anyways, this is Drag Race reviews. This is Drag Race reviews. We're not going to do that, but I did want to, I had to bring it up because it needs to be talked about. All right, so rest in peace to that person. I'm glad that we have progressed. Unfortunately, we have regressed, and they've taken, I know I said we're going to move on, but I need to say this. They've taken trans people out of the military just for them to turn around. Now that they have started this war and stuff in Iran, now all of a sudden they want to be like, well, maybe we could. Oh, now you need them. You got rid of these people because they're trans, because you're weird. Who cares? You kick these people out. They don't have any of their benefits. It's sad and it's really jacked up. But anyways, we're going to talk about the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. Ru comes in. I'm speechless. Love the look. I'm just saying. Michelle, we have Michelle Visage, we have La Roche, and we have comedian Danielle Pinnock. Now, I'm not familiar with Danielle, but after watching her on this episode, I think I've seen her maybe before. I'm not sure if she just does stand-up or she has her own show. I don't know, but after this, Danielle Pinnock, whatever you say her name, she's a super funny lady. I liked her. I loved her energy. I'm going to look her up. I'm going to get into her because she was great. The runway category is drag family resemblance. They need to do something about this category, and we'll get into it in a second. So let's take a look at these looks. Let's take a look at the queens. So first up, we have Nene Coco with, look, okay, this is what I'm going to do. How do I want to do this? I'll tell you the name of the queen. So first up, we have Nene Coco and Patsy Coco. Let's take a look at their look. Okay. So Nene and her partner, Nene and Patsy, look, I love a butterfly theme. I love a bug theme. Could have been something else, maybe. I didn't mind so much her cowboy's look, but it did not read as caterpillar, and it was kind of confusing. But at the end of the day, I saw family resemblance. I didn't hate it. Could it have been maybe a little something else? Sure, but I did not hate it. Next up, we had Mikey Minx and Morgan Minx. Now, they were trying to give identical. I wasn't mad at this. But it is more or less the same dress. You have one that's like a full length, fitted gown, and one that is asymmetrical, but it's essentially more or less the same dress. You got the same hair on opposite sides, similar jewelry. It's giving very, very much the same. I wasn't blown away, but I think it met the mark of the challenge. So that was Mikey Minx and Morgan Minx. Next up, we have Juicy Love Dion and Lucy Love Dion. I like the looks. I think that Juicy ended up having to make a full leotard because the outfit that she brought for her makeover was the same, pretty much the same outfit that Juicy is wearing. But you know, everybody's not Juicy size. Everybody's not a little size 2, a little thimble of a woman. You know, you got this big man, you got this big old cowboy man. So Juicy luckily learned a little something about being on the show, because, you know, Juicy ain't really know how to sew. Whatever. Anyway, so made this full leotard, right? And I think she did well. They both are, you know, it's giving very Celia Cruz. It's nice. Is it like, ooh, extreme, like, no, but I think it met the criteria. I think they both look very, very nice. And that's all that we can ask for. It was fun. It was upbeat. I'm not mad at it. Next up, we have Jane Don't and Maybe Don't. I saw the family resemblance. Michelle sat up here and said, I don't see it. I don't know. This doesn't make sense. And I'm like, are we looking at the same damn thing? What do you mean they don't have family resemblance? And so Michelle is confusing, because she will sit up here and say stuff like, it doesn't have to be identical. It doesn't have to be matchy. But then you have something like this with Jane Don't and Maybe Don't, where it's complimentary. Then it's like, I don't see the family. So do you want to, okay, so is it an identical twins challenge? Because I'm not understanding. I see drag family resemblance here. What are we talking about? I thought this was good. Michelle and I think maybe somebody else on the judges panel didn't get. I was like, baby, I can't agree. I'm so sorry. I thought this was perfectly fine. Were the dresses a little simple? Maybe, but it was put together. It was good. I saw the resemblance. Next up, we had Discord Adams and Harmony Adams. Great names. Great names. I thought this was cute. When they went in, Laura Roach especially went in on Discord and her cowboy, talking about, I don't get it. I don't see it. I'm like, they were like, this isn't you. Her cowboy is literally wearing more or less the same exact outfit in a different color scheme. This is Sugar and Spice. What's not clicking? What do you mean we're not seeing family resemblance here? Now, have we seen this preppy / punk rock rivalry? Have we seen this on the main stage? Well, sure, we've seen similar things, but how the hell is this not giving Discord? Their mugs are stamped. Discord stamped her Cowboys mug. They look the same. Everything is like, I'm starting to believe in the conspiracy theories here, that y'all just be picking who you want to win. I don't want to believe that, but I'm not understanding. Last up, we have Darlene Mitchell and Bonnie Mitchell. Now, what they did, we've definitely seen before, but it is very Darlene to do this trashy, trailer park, white trash type of thing, coming from Florida, going to the casino, very tacky, very, it's very her. I think it's fine. Now, her drag queen really, really fit the role, really committed to the bit. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Darlene's partner doesn't. What's Darlene's partner's name? Bonnie Mitchell. I wouldn't be surprised if Bonnie Mitchell doesn't show up for the next season of Drag Race, or the next couple of seasons. This was good. It wasn't nothing to write home about. I think it was very Darlene. I think it was very well done. It's just that we've seen it a lot before in past seasons. But for what it's worth, just her individually, I think she committed to the bit. I think she did well with her drag queen. It was very cute, very fun. We love all of that. So then we get into critiques. And like I said, Michelle and Law went in on Nene and Jason's family resemblance. They were both bugs. Also, this is a big ass black man. This is a little white twink. How much family resemblance do you want? You know what I mean? Okay, whatever. Michelle didn't see the family resemblance with Jane and Maybe. I wrote, is she high? off the heels of her saying it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy and going on and on about Juicy and Mikey, who were extremely matchy-matchy with their partners. Which one is it? You know, that's what I wrote down. And then Jane was getting emotional during the critiques and stuff. It was nice to see a different side of the girl. She actually has a heart. Hello. Law went in on Discord. And the judges weren't really feeling it. The Law really, really went in on Discord. Like, to the point where I was like, I don't know if all that's necessary, but okay. And then the goat. Oh, they made a joke about goat dressing. So they talked about, Rue asked, I think it was Darlene's partner, was one of the hardest events. And they said that it was goat dressing. And Rue was like, what is goat dressing? So, and they did a little bit of it in the Untucked. But basically, goat dressing is like where two people catch a goat and you got to put tighty whities on the goat and then run back to the start line or something. I don't know. It was very funny. I was like, okay, wow, great. Love that. They lived for Darlene and Bonnie, which I'm like, we've seen this a lot before, but they lived for her, okay. Danielle Pinnock, I wrote, oh, it's funny. And I loved her look. She looked beautiful. The top, Juicy, Darlene, and Mikey. Mikey won. This is her second win. She won $5,000 and $2,500 for her partner, Morgan. I don't see how Mikey won this. I just don't. It was not that it was bad, but I could have given it to Discord. I could have given it to Jane. Hell, I could have even given it to Darlene. But I mean, Juicy, sure. But Mikey, I was like, that didn't resonate with me. The rest of the contestants get an Anastasia gift bag, the Cowboys. And I'm like, oh, okay, cute. In the bottom, we had Jane, Discord, and Nene. The bottom two, Discord and Nene, they had to lip sync to We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande. It was a decent lip sync. It wasn't anything to write home about. Discord did not know the words. Oh my gosh. Discord. I was really rooting for her, but all stars, right? So Nene stays, Discord leaves. Rue says no matter what comes next, never ever sissy that walk. That's what Rue says to Discord. And it was really, Discord is just so sweet, so positive. I've really grown to love Discord so much. I really love you, Discord, with exclamation point. So that's that. Love you, Discord, girl. You're gonna go far. And they've had a little Discord and Live Roach have had a little back and forth online. So if y'all want to look that up, there's some tea there. Okay. Let's go on to Untucked. Not a whole lot happened, but it was a good episode because, you know, they got to mingle with the Cowboys and they actually did a pretend like goat dressing with a couple of people. It was very funny. It was good. It was nice hanging out. I really loved Jason. He was just really great. I loved him. Terry, like all the Cowboys were really, really great. And I was saying I really loved how Nene did Jason's lashes. That was really cute. It was like, you know, Nene adds that little extra something to the lashes. It was very much a Nene signature. So I like that. And then we talked about the goat dressing. But anyways, so with all that being said, darling, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning into NELLYVYLLE Reviews. Let me know who you think is going to win so far. It's still looking like it's probably going to be Jane. But anything can happen. I guess right now, maybe I'm rooting for Darlene, maybe Nene. But if Jane wins, I won't even be mad because she's performed. She has performed. Mikey, I was rooting for Mikey, but Mikey started getting on my nerves. So, you know. But as of right now, any of these queens that we have left, I can see it for them. Just depends on what challenges are next. But then Juicy, even though, you know, she's a baby queen, doesn't have a whole lot of experience and don't really know how to do a whole lot, who's out lip syncing her? I can see her making it to the finale just off lip syncs. Will they give her the crown? Probably not. Even if she kills it in the final finale lip sync, they probably will still give it to the other girl just based off of track record. Unless this next challenge, Juicy's really, I don't know. I can see anybody coming up through. So unless Juicy does some crazy Sasha Velour roses, I get so emotional, babe. You know, unless she does something like that, I don't know. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching or listening. And you can catch us audio only, or if you listen to audio, you can catch us full form video. Thank you so much. Listen to you. Bye.